Okay, that looks good. Just bear with me there for a sec, people. Just fix a few settings here. There we go. That looks good. Just make sure this isn't switched on, which it isn't. Just bear with me. So this looks good, and we are good to go. So, Saturday night live stream. Shout out to everyone who's in the chat now at the minute. Chat's open there. Self-isolation, 3 and a bit weeks in, nearly a month actually into this self-isolation. Saturday night live stream. How is your Saturday going? What are you doing? What are you up to? Shout out, Mr. James. Shout out to you, my friend. How is your Saturday night going? What are all these people up to? What's everyone up to? We got a few little things I want to talk about. Some things I haven't talked about this week, which would be Scott Fitzgerald being in a bit of hot water. It goes without saying, as I just bring up the articles on Scott Fitzgerald. He's in a bit of hot water. You know, it's fair to say Scott Fitzgerald not doing the best. The self-isolation thing, how is it going for you people? Everyone in the chat, you know, how is it affecting you? Is it affecting you bad? Is it affecting you good? Is it indifferent? What are you doing this Saturday night? Because most of the time on a Saturday night, most people who'll be in around my fan base will be either watching boxing or they'll be going on a night out, they'll be doing something. Whereas now we're resigned to being stuck at home. So what's the people at? What's everyone up to? How is your Saturday going? Let's have a few little chats on this live stream. Getting pissed. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. But Scott Fitzgerald, he is in a bit of bother. Now, it's fair to say. And I'm going to have a little chat about him now. And what I will do, you see, for those who seen a few of my career reviews, one of the reasons why I said I wanted to live stream them rather than record them is for this simple reason. Now, I'll show you the Scott Fitzgerald thing in a minute, but I just want to show you this, and I'll show you how we do it here. So this is a screen share, basically. So screen sharing on YouTube gives you the opportunity to, from you basically, to see everything from my point of view. So as you can see, we're on Chris Eubanks Senior's box rec here. So it lets me go in, have a look, and I can kind of talk through a resume. And I'm not doing a review of Chris Eubanks Senior for those who want to know. I'm not doing that yet. I will eventually do it because I got asked by a few people to do it in the comment section, that Roy Jones video. I'm not going to do one just yet, but I'm just showing you how I was considering doing these live streams, and maybe how I'll consider doing the career reviews in the future. Maybe just live streaming it and then uploading it separately, because you can see everything. I don't have to edit it. I don't have to click on, you know, all these names, take their pictures, put them into, you know, snipping tool, and then, you know, edit them onto the video. I don't have to do that. I can literally just click on box rec and show you as it goes along. So it's a handy little tool, that screen share. I have it in my settings here, which is on Streamer. So it's a handy little tool. And that Roy Jones career review, that was so much fun. I really enjoyed doing that career review for Roy Jones. It was just great getting the chance to, it was just great getting the chance to see some of his old fights, see how he does things. And, you know, it was just a lot of fun doing that. So shout out to all the 9 people in the chat. How is your self-isolation going? How are you all keeping? What's happening with all you people? So everyone in the chat, how is the self-isolation? How is this whole lockdown affecting you guys? We're going to talk more about boxing now in a second, but I just want to know, how is it affecting you guys? You know, what are you doing now as opposed to what you were doing, and how are you finding it? G-Man's back, visual take, shout out. How are you all keeping? You know, lockdown is affecting everybody in different ways. So, you know, let me know in the chat. I hope everyone is keeping well, though, staying safe, you know, staying indoors, because the more we stay indoors, the quicker we can get this thing over with. Yes, the quicker we can get this thing over with. Check a few other things here. So, shout out. Been enjoying the weather in your garden. London was hot. Yeah, it's been nice over here as well. It's been real nice over here. Just give me a sec there. It's been real nice over here. Some things we're talking about in this live stream, we're going to be talking about Scott Fitzgerald. So I didn't do a video. I'm going to do it now actually because I didn't do a video about Scott Fitzgerald at all, and some of the things that's happening with him. It says here that Scott Fitzgerald is alleged 28-year-old fighter assaulted two women aged 21 and 42 and a 23-year-old man. Now, this is, I think, an older story. I'm actually going to try and get the one where it says about his there it is, where it says about his license being suspended because he's alleged to have had a row with his ex-girlfriend. She's definitely ex-girlfriend now. What is up with this? Why isn't it off? Always block. If it doesn't let you decline, always block. Yeah, but he's basically been accused of having a row with his ex-partner and her family. Scott Fitzgerald's I think it's fair to say he's an erratic character. He's in and out of shape all the time, believed to have had some substance abuse issues, a lot of things not right with Scott Fitzgerald. And even to some of his performances, if you ever seen Scott Fitzgerald fight, he has erratic performances as well because he fought Anthony Fowler. I think it was 2 fights before that. He fought some guy who was beating him from pillar to post. I'll even try and see if I can find it actually on BoxRec, and I'll show you. Gerald. You can see if I can find it here on BoxRec, and I'll show you the fights. Here's Scott Fitzgerald on BoxRec. This fight right here, Craig Morris. Craig Morris 10-1. He was giving Scott Fitzgerald the business in that fight. Scott Fitzgerald looked terrible in that fight. And he came and found a left hook, literally found a left hook in the 10th round. He was definitely behind on all those scorecards. So erratic performance. Then he goes and fights Fowler. Fowler's not that good to begin with anyway. Then he goes, fights Fowler, and was great. Well, didn't look perfect, but looked fine in it. But let's see. Let's look at some of these things. Rehab of Tony Adams for alcohol and gambling addictions. Jesus Christ. Said on Tuesday to fuck the police. Oh, Jesus. 24 hours in a cell. That was some heavy you-know-what. Yesterday I was arrested after kicked off my ex-partner. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. What do you say about that with Scott Fitzgerald, huh? Where do you start? Like, where do you start? Where do you go? What do you say? Scott Fitzgerald, he's such an erratic character, He's crazy. He really is. And some of the things that he's done, you really just do have to question it because you really do have to think that Scott Fitzgerald, his career is going to be very, very short. And Scott Fitzgerald's a fighter who has potential. But judging by what's been going on, outside the ring with, alcohol abuse, being out of shape for these fights, not treating his body the way it should. And definitely it sounds like Scott Fitzgerald has some substance abuse issues, whether it's alcohol or something stronger than that. Sounds like Fitzy is, well, his nickname is Madman Fitzy. And, he really does show himself to be a madman, in and outside the ring. In the ring, he's not bad, but outside the ring, I mean, this guy is just an accident. Yeah, exactly. This is the reason Matchroom don't want to promote him. Well, you could see it straight away after that Fowler fight, the Eddie Hearn. You could even see it in the ring, even though Fitzgerald was working with Eddie Hearn, prior to that Anthony Fowler fight. You could see just by Eddie Hearn's reaction when that fight ended, he was pissed off because he wanted Anthony Fowler to win that fight. Now, truth be told, I don't rate Anthony Fowler at all. I think he's not great, but I think Eddie Hearn obviously thinks he can mark Anthony Fowler easier. I don't think he can. I think Anthony Fowler is just a very annoying character. Really, that's kind of how I view Anthony Fowler. I don't think he's very marketable either, but I definitely think that he's got more of a chance with Anthony Fowler than he does with Scott Fitzgerald at this stage anyway, because no sooner did he do the Scott Fitzgerald fight that he put him in there with Ted Cheeseman. Didn't look great against Ted Cheeseman, but he got the job done. He was meant to have fights started this year, but they didn't happen because he was out of shape. What is up, G-Man? And the chat, shout out, Toby, shout out. How are you keeping? Question for everyone in the chat, how are you keeping during this self-isolation? Because I want to know, you kind of know from my videos, I've told you what's going on in my life. Not exactly straightforward right now. I started last week with a job and I don't have one now, which is not good, but it is what it is. Hopefully when this all ends, I can get that back. But, it is what it is. I'll wait and see. So shout out to you, my man, and shout out to Impodium. Is it Podium or Impodium? However you pronounce it, mate. Shout out to you. But yeah, Definitely they want to go with Fowler as opposed to Fitzgerald. But when you see erratic characters like Scott Fitzgerald who do these kind of things outside the ring, they have erratic performances inside the ring, like that Craig Morris fight, they aren't, they're not due a long life in terms of the boxing. They're definitely due a short shelf life in terms of boxing. And Scott Fitzgerald is such an erratic character. I mean, I remember speaking to a few of my mates about him, and this is prior to him fighting Fowler. Everyone was picking Fowler, including myself, to beat Fitzgerald because we've seen him be erratic outside the ring. We've seen him miss weight. We've seen him have shaky performances like he did against Chris Morris. And when it all comes together, he looks well. He does good, but you know, he does these silly things outside the ring, and it is what it is. There it is, exactly there. So he's looking at a suspend. Well, his license has been suspended by the British Boxing Board of Control. I don't know how that affects the British title, whether that will now automatically become vacant, because this isn't like Billy Joe getting suspended by the British Boxing Board of Control, which I think was yeah, it's a second warning for things like this, so I can kind of excuse it. But I say with Billy Joe, it's not going to affect him as much because if he is going to be fighting, it's more than likely going to be in the States, unless he's fighting Callum Smith. All right, unless he's fighting Callum Smith, you can imagine his fights probably be in the States. So it's not really going to affect Billy Joe losing his boxing license or getting it suspended, I should say, in the UK for the time being. With Scott Fitzgerald, he's only really going to be fighting in the UK. He's British champion. So I would imagine if he can't defend that British title, and if his license with the British Boxing Board of Control has been suspended, then I would imagine they would strip him of that British title. I could be wrong. I don't know if there's any, loopholes with the British Boxing Board of Control as why they can't. But I would imagine that they'll strip Scott Fitzgerald, in which case, let's bring the screen share back in and let's have a look at some of the guys we have. Let's have a look-see at some of the guys we have in the kind of top 10 of Britain, of the British fight scene, I should say. Just happened to click on Fowler, who could challenge reasonably for that British title if it was vacant. And look, I find it crazy that this is how silly some of the algorithms on BoxRec are. They've Anthony Fowler ranked just behind Kell Brook as, the top, light middleweight in Britain. There are guys like James Metcalf down 7th. I'd pick him over Fowler. Egerton, that'd be a good fight between the two. I wouldn't mind seeing Egerton versus Fowler for the British title. That's a decent fight. God knows what's going on with Sam Egerton these days, because one minute he's fighting Eddie Hearn shows, and the next minute he's fighting on small hall shows for some promoter we don't know. Then you've Scott Fitzgerald. Liam Smith, I think they have him listed at middleweight. So you would put Kell Brook, Liam Smith. Then you'd probably put Scott Fitzgerald number 3 for the time being. Maybe even James Metcalf, because James Metcalf's a decent fighter. You've Kieran Smith there, Kieran Conway. Kieran Conway is an interesting character. He is. Kieran Conway got a very close win over my pal there, Craig O'Brien. That was a very close fight. It was close. One thing the lads told me was they never seen a transformation after the weigh-in like Kieran Conway. They said they couldn't believe how much weight he rehydrated. So Conway's an interesting shout. I don't know if I pick him over any of them guys because he's not really a puncher. James Metcalf, I'd say, is one of these guys where he doesn't get mentioned enough. I think he's the son of Shane Neary. For some of you who don't remember Shane Neary, he was the guy who got knocked out by Mickey Ward. Metcalf is a decent fighter. Sorry there. Metcalf's a decent fighter. I'm surprised this guy doesn't get shout-outs, doesn't get names. He took care of Jason Wellborn. Even though he took care of Jason Wellborn later than Jared Hurd did, Jared Hurd took care of him in 4 rounds, took Metcalf 8. He wasn't getting outboxed by Jason Wellborn. Jared Hurd was. So Metcalf's a very, very decent fighter. Really rate the kid very highly. Even though I call him kid, he's a good bit older than me. But Metcalf's a decent fighter. Definitely rate him highly. I think he could do some work. He's the Commonwealth champion. So if you were looking for someone to fight for the vacant title, I would imagine it'd be kind of in around kind of this bracket here. Your Ted Cheeseman, your Sam Egertons. He's probably going to go for more European, I think, Sam Egerton, because he beat that guy. Who was it he beat? Yeah, he beat that guy, Orlando. He beat him on that Eddie Hearn show in Tuscany. Then he's back out on a small hall show. So I'd imagine he's looking kind of more along the lines of, European title fights Liam Smith, I'm pretty sure they have him ranked at middleweight. Yeah, they do. Even though he's a light middleweight, they have him ranked at middleweight. Liam Smith ain't going to fight for a British title. Not a hope. All right, not a hope Liam Smith's going to fight for a British title. So, that's something to take from that. Make it that what you will. There's the kind of top 10 fighters in Britain. Egerton versus Fowler would be a fun fight. It would be. It'd be a very good fight. I wouldn't mind seeing it because neither guy is blessed with defense. Neither guy's technique is great. If you ever watch Anthony Fowler, his footwork's a bit all over the shop. He's very easy to hit, and sometimes he actually makes himself a bigger target than he needs to be because the way he kind of leans in. Now, working with Shane McGuigan, we need to see what he looks like because we didn't see anything in that last fight because the guy had boots that couldn't grip the canvas. So it's a hard one. So we'll need to wait and see. But I wouldn't mind seeing Egerton versus Fowler. I would. You see, Egerton at 147, he could bully a lot of these guys, whereas at 154, he struggles to bully a lot of these guys. And Fowler's really a 160-pounder. He's not really a light middleweight. He's really a middleweight. So both guys would meet in the middle and they'd exchange leather. Definitely know that. Fowler can punch a bit, but, it's interesting. Would that be a good fight? I'm all good, thanks. Just watching boxing clips. Yeah, missing the little one and hate it though. Missing the little one, hate it. Yeah, man, it's tough going. One thing I have to say about being in here and being the self-isolation, I am watching a lot more boxing and doing these weekly reviews because I said I'm going to be doing these reviews every week until this self-isolation ends on a Saturday, career reviews. Now, I like being able to just go back and look at some of these old fights. Like, I know a lot about Roy Jones, but I watched a couple of his old fights this week, and it was nice going back and looking at some of them. I started watching a couple of Mike Tyson's old fights again today, just in preparation for next week. And, it's fun. It is actually quite fun getting to watch some of these old fights and just seeing, what you forget. Because I used to watch Roy Jones all the time back a couple of years ago. And obviously, I wasn't making videos back then. And then, you start watching different guys and you don't see a lot of these fights. And when you go back and rewatch them, you realize how much fun they were. So I'm watching a lot of old boxing clips and, I'm missing it. I'm missing the boxing, I have to say I am. Sorry to hear about the job. Mate, it is what it is. It was out of the blue. It was so out of the blue. That was the thing because we were all given laptops and my work laptop is still here. So they never told me how to return it or what, or whether I need to return it. I literally got a call Monday morning at like 12 o'clock, like during the middle of the shift, or during the middle of my just job. And it was basically told that, you see, in Dublin, in Ireland anyway, a lot of places will go through agencies, like recruitment agencies, and a lot of agencies will actually pay you until you get given a contract. And that was what I was under. So I was there. I was only meant to be there for like 4 months and they rolled the contract on. So I was working, hoping to get offered a full-time permanent contract. Like I was guaranteed, if this hadn't have happened, like this whole, coronavirus hadn't happened, I'd still be working there. There'd be none of this happening. But basically, I was working with an agency. So the agency were paying me and I was waiting to get a contract. And obviously we all got sent home to work from home. So I had to wait for a contract. And obviously I was hoping to get one when we came back. And what happened is that I will deal with a lot of online work. So I'm not necessarily IT, but I'll deal with like online websites and stuff like that. I'll deal with a lot of that work. And we have another department who will deal with stores because we have a stores, the company I work for, it's the head office of a book company. And we'd have one company, we'd have one end that deals with stores, one end that deals with online. I deal with online. But the end that deal with the stores are all contracted. So they have contracts with the company, and the end that deal with online don't. So, well, they don't have them yet. So what happened was all the stores closed down first, and then they had to shut the online down. So the people who dealt with the stores had to take over the online work because they had contracts, and because if they weren't working, the company would still have to pay them. Whereas the people with the agency, i.e. me, if we didn't work, the company don't have to pay us. So they terminate all our contracts, which they can do with the agency. And now it's a case of waiting to see what happens. Because once the stores reopen, the people who took over our jobs, because it was me and the whole team who got let go, the people who took over our jobs, they'll have to go back and do their jobs. But it just means, what are they going to do about, us? you know, G-Man and the rest of the people who got let go, what are they going to do about us? Because there'll be no one to look after the online desk. And, you know, that's it. Like, that's basically it. So it's the unknown. And they didn't give me or anyone the definitive answer because they're assuming the worst. And it's just, it's a mess. You know, it's an absolute mess. I'm hoping for the best. You know, I still have the goddamn laptop here. It's not as good as the one I use to do these streams on, so that's why I don't use it. But I still have the laptop, so I don't know. I don't know. If this ends in, we'll say, a month, you know, this lockdown, or even if they relax it a bit, then, you know, maybe I could be told, you know, come back. If I get told to come back, I'm asking for a contract though, because I'm not going through that again. So they're giving me a contract if I go back. If they don't give me a contract, I just won't go back. Fuck that. But it just means now that I have to just be careful with my money because I wasn't saving at the time. I didn't think I'd have to. So whatever money I get from YouTube, and it's not been a lot lately, I just have to make that last, basically. I was making not decent money. I wasn't making much money from YouTube, but prior to all this self-isolation thing happening, I was gaining like 150 subs a month, and the money that was coming in was growing. You know, it was growing. Every month it was getting more and more nice to see. Nothing you could live on, but it was nice pocket money. I'll put it like that. Put it like this: I have a loan that I'm paying off in the bank, and every month what I made from YouTube would cover that loan. Every month they would cover that loan. Whatever I made would cover that loan. So that gives you kind of an idea. It's not a big loan, by the way. So that kind of gives you an idea of what was happening with YouTube and how they were doing it prior to this. But they can't let you go, G-Man. Yeah, I know. They shouldn't. I don't know what the hell is happening, mate, to be honest with you. Right now, it's just up in the air. If I'm hoping they let me back. I know my friend who got let go as well. She said point blank she won't go back. You know, she was real pissed off about this. So, you know, she won't be going back. So that's either a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. But she was lovely, actually. So I miss her because she's my friend. But she's saying she won't go back. And, you know, it's just madness. You know, it's just madness. And as I've said many times, one of my friends who I don't say friend, like we're not even friends, but we used to work together. She only left that job at the start of March to take a job with an airline, Aer Lingus, in the airport in Dublin, and she hadn't even started the job, I don't think, when all flights stopped. So she literally left the job, went to see her brother in Canada, came home from Canada to be told basically there's no job. So, you know, she's in a bad way, and she pays rent. She's not from Dublin. She pays rent. So she's renting over here. She's not originally from Dublin. She's from Leitrim, which is fucking the back arse of nowhere. Like, literally, there's nothing in that county. I've showed pictures of it on this channel or on live streams, and you will never get a job in Leitrim because there's nothing in it. So you need to come to a place like Dublin. And yeah, she's got nothing there. And just so I show you, there's nothing in Leitrim. Here you go. Picture. There's 33,000 people in this county. In this county alone. Look at it. Just green. Just nothing but green. Literally just green everywhere. That's all you see. Green, 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 green. You know, their biggest city is called Carrick-on Shannon. Has about 4,000 people in it. It's not even a city, it's a town. That's it. So, you know, you ain't getting no jobs there, people. You ain't getting no jobs. So, yeah, it's tough going. It's tough going for everybody. So, you know, that's been kind of really what's been going on in my life outside of here. Support the G-Man. That is it. You got to get your channel out there, boys and girls. That's some good we can do. Just share it, man. Like the videos and share it. That's all I ask. Literally, I only ask you to like them because the more likes it gets, the higher it goes in YouTube's algorithms, which means people are more likely to click on it and watch it. And prior to what some people say, and no one in this chat, because you all know, but people will always go onto your videos and say, oh, you're just clickbaiting. No, I fucking haven't. Clickbaiting to me is like someone... See, to me, clickbaiting is someone just blatantly putting a very misleading headline and saying this, that, and the other, and then, you know, having nothing like it. You know, for argument's sake, if you look at my post-fight reviews, I put snippets of a fight as the thumbnail, but I have it everywhere in the description and I have it in the title that there's no footage. So if you're clicking on that, you've been warned there's no footage. You can see that there's no footage, and I actually put it in brackets that there's no footage. So you're clicking on that and expecting to see footage, you know, more fool you. More fool you. So don't come at me saying clickbait. I've told you there's no footage. And some people come and be like, you're such a liar. There's no footage in this fight. It's like, yeah, it says it in the description and it says it in the title. Only one. Aeon, shout out, bro. Shout out. So yeah, that's why I always say like the video, because it shoots the video higher up in YouTube's algorithms, which is good for me, good for the channel, because it means I get out there a lot more people see it. And you know, like I said, I was speaking with Ade there on Wednesday night, and me and him were both saying it. The growth, his channel grows obviously a lot more than mine does. He's a lot bigger, but he's noticed it as well, how much it's slowed down drastically. Like prior to this, I was doing 150 subs a month. I was on course to hit 2K by now. Like if this hadn't happened, I'd be on 2K right about now. So I was growing about 150 subs a month, and you know, some months are better than others, but it was in around that. And you know, I still get decent views, but damn, ever since this whole self-isolation thing and there's no boxing, it's just slowed right down. Shout out Nick Hamer, G-Man in the chat, shout out. It's just slowed right down. You know, I'm still getting the subs, I'm still getting the views, but it's slowed right down. It's the same with Ade. He notices the same. You know, he was saying that the money he's making a month is took a hit as well from YouTube, amongst other things. You know, it's tough going. It's tough going. It'll change. It'll come back to basics sooner or later. But you know, I can't wait for boxing to come back. By the way, and I'm bringing the screen share back. I'm bringing the screen share back because I want to show you all the saving grace. I want to show you all the saving grace. And it's not Naoya Inoue, but I'm going to use him just because. I'm going to show you this now. This is on tomorrow, people. And I'm only going to just show you it because I know apparently that fight's still going ahead. We'll see. I know because BoxRec will let you click on events in Japan. And we, as it stands, boys, we have an event on tomorrow. This is like a prize fighter tournament. They're all garbage, as you can see. 0-0, 1 draw, 3-1 draw, 1-2-4, 2-2. They're all not great. It has to be said. They're all light guys, featherweight and super featherweight. But this is like a prize fighter tournament. And I've heard a few people say they're going to stream this. I'm not streaming it, but I'll watch a stream if there's any. This is how starved for boxing us fans are. That we would, I'm seriously, I'll watch this. If I can get a live stream for this, I'll watch this. It's in Japan, so it'll be on at about noon. But I'll watch that, definitely, 100%. If this is on tomorrow and I can get a live stream, I'll watch it. Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it. No questions asked. That's how badly in need we are for boxing. That's how badly in need we are for boxing this day. I'm going to go back and like all the videos I missed, do the same, guys. I will help him. Cost nothing but mate, shout out. Thank you. You know, and that's why I say, like, I don't ask for likes because I'm fishing for likes. I don't really give a shit, you know, about, you know, likes on Instagram, likes on Facebook, bullshit like that. I don't really mind about that. But the only reason I ask for it is because it does. When people say it helps, when I say it helps the channel, it genuinely does. You know, it really, truly does. Like, I remember one of my friends, see, I don't tell people about me doing YouTube. I like to keep it private. You know, I'm a very private person. Always been that way. So most people don't know that I do this. You know, even people who I'm close to don't know that I do this. I remember one of my friends, my best friend, he'd be a big boxing fan as well. And when I done my review for Callum Smith versus John Ryder, I think I had like 60 likes and like 2,000 views within like the first like couple of hours. So when my friend the next day typed in Callum Smith versus John Ryder, mine, I think he said like my video was like third in the queue. Of all the videos, there was like third in the queue because it had so much, you know, traction, and it was getting comments like every 2 seconds because everyone thought John Ryder won. So it got so much traction and so much, response that it pushed it really, really high up on top of like YouTube's algorithm. So he clicked on it, and that's one of the guys. That's not the dancing guy. For those who don't know, the dance, when you watch me and you see some of the little videos I put in my audios, there's a guy dancing with a drink. It's not him. It's the guy shadowboxing. He's seen himself shadowboxing and was like, wait a minute, I recognize that voice, and that's me shadowboxing. What the fuck? So he texted me and he's like, did you make that video? I said, yeah, that's me. There was no hiding it. We seen himself. So he put two and two together. So that was how one of my videos, having a lot of likes, having a lot of comments, actually like boosted it so high that it was one of the top. I think he said it was like top 3 or top 4 videos in YouTube for John Ryder versus Callum Smith, the post-fight review, because it had so much, fan traction on it, basically. And, like he said, he's seen it. He was like, well, I got to click on that because it had like 5,000, 6,000 views. He clicked on it. He's like, I know that voice. What the fuck? Why am I on YouTube? So, that was that. And it was a funny way to get noticed. It was a funny way to get recognized. Do you use G-Man hashtag? If so, you would get out there on the other boxing channels. I don't go on a lot of boxing channels, to be honest with you. Like, I go on Mark Munrival Boxing a little bit, but that's it really. I don't go on a lot of channels. Like, I go with Ade and that's it. Like, I kind of I like the way me and Ade do things, and I didn't want to build my channel like, my goal was not like, have it exactly like Ade, with the camera going, with the gloves in the background, stuff like that. But I just like it like that, and I'm not someone who live streams a lot. I know Mark would live stream a hell of a lot, but I just don't. I don't know why. Sometimes I don't want to. Sometimes I'm thinking like, oh, if I only get like a couple of people in, will it be any good? So he live streams a lot, but I don't. And I like the way my channel is. Like, so I like going on Ade's channel. I've been asked by some up and coming guys like Pause the Punch, who are it's a very good channel. It's unfortunate they aren't really putting any content out now because they film it in trees. I think they film it in a studio, which obviously with the restrictions in place over in the UK, I don't think they can do it, which is a shame because they asked me to be on their show next time I'm over there. Now, they have a very small channel. They only have like, I think they only have like 60, 70 subs, but I would have been happy to go on it. Remember they emailed me a couple of weeks ago and they said, when you're over in London, would you go? And I said, yeah, of course I'll go on your channel. No problem. I'll even take some of it and put it on mine, just to get you guys out there because I like what you do. But it's tough. It's tough for them guys as well, and they're not getting paid for it either. So I love the way they're doing that. Seem like a real down to earth GOG man, to freshen the hair and rarity nowadays. No BS, just news. That's it. I don't want to have, I don't want to have beefs. I don't want to have any, what like this. Just I say it like it is, and that's it. If you disagree, so be it. But you're not going to please everybody. But I don't get into beefs or anything like that. It's just all silliness. It's all silliness. I don't get into beefs. No, I never do. In or outside of the ring. I never, in or outside of the ring, in or outside of YouTube, I never get into beefs. I just leave it be. If there's people I don't like, guess what I do? Just don't interact with them. I just don't interact with them. There's been plenty of people I've not liked. And this is going to sound like a dick move. This is going to sound real pricky, but I'm just going to come out and say it anyway. One reason why I was so pissed off about basically being told that we don't know if there's a job for you, and for now you're going to have to not have a job. One reason I was so annoyed was because I couldn't wait to get back into the office, because there was a guy we took on at Christmas who had just finished up. And I mean, this guy was just a piece of work. And I just couldn't wait to work and not have to listen to this guy anymore. That was the thing that pissed me off the most. I know it's going to sound like a bit of a dick move, but you need to have met this guy. He was an absolute wanker. And I was looking forward to just having him out of the office, because he was such a strange character. I'd never met anyone like him. He was just such a strange piece of work. And I couldn't wait to just get back in and be like, yes, I don't have to listen to that annoying voice anymore. And I remember when he got hired, like the first day he came in, he had to sit with me for a bit. And like I've always been a very good judge of character. That's why when I used to work in the gyms, because that's why I studied in college, I studied to be a gym instructor, so sports psychology and nutrition. When I used to work in the gyms, I used to supervise gyms, and I used to do interviews. Well, I used to help with the interviews, and I used to always do interviews because I could always have a good judge of character. And me and the manager of the gym, you used to always disagree. Well, we never fell out, but we used to always disagree on who we wanted and basically who we wanted to work there. So I always, whenever we disagree, we do a reference check. I never do reference checks, but whenever me and my manager then at the time would disagree on who we want to hire, I'd always be like, do a reference check then, because we could just never agree on who we wanted. And because I used to be like, I don't like that person, and you can tell when you meet someone straight away if you like him or not, or if you're going to be a good guy or not. And we got Blue Collar Sport TV. Shout out Dell. Shout out. You never catch these streams. Well, you're catching it now, and you're catching the back end of it now, mate. To be honest, how are you? What's up with you? How are you keeping? How are you keeping? I seen a couple of the videos that you put now. I know, kind of, for me and you, the viewers have been down a lot. The subs aren't coming in as much, but it's like that for everyone around the board, mate. It's like that for everyone around the board. How are you keeping outside YouTube? Is the self-isolation hitting you hard, or how is it? Because yeah, it's been hitting us hard, but getting through it. Getting through it. So yeah, a little bit of insight into G-Man outside of here. Go back and catch some more of these. Nah, there's not really much there. Working from home, cabin fever is real. Mate, I was working from home, as I told the guys in this chat, I was working from home until Monday this week. And I was told you need to finish up on Tuesday because, well, basically we're terminating all our contracted staff and we don't know if you're going to have your job back or not. So it's tough going, mate. It's absolute tough going. It's a shit show for all of us. It's a shit show for all of us. But the funny thing is, I'm working from home. I still have the laptop here, and I'm hoping this is a good sign. They never even remotely acknowledged the fact that they never said, like, when this office is open, can you return the laptop, and anything like that. So I'm hoping that's a good sign. I'm hoping that means that they'll be like, you know what, you can just bring the laptop back and, here's your desk. Because I never even got a chance to clean my desk out, not that there's much on it. So hopefully that's a good sign. Well, that's a good sign, mate. That's a good sign. So I want to actually try something with you guys because I done my Roy Jones career review today, as I'm sure you may know. And took me about an hour to edit that, a little over an hour to edit that video. And a lot of people were asking me to do Chris Eubanks Sr. Now, I said that Mike Tyson, Andre Ward be the next two I do, and they're going to be the next two I do. And I have another fighter that I want to do after that. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a review of careers every Saturday. So what I normally do is I record the audio, or I record with the camera facing, and then I take my snippets off BoxRec, pop it in, and go from there. But if I was to live stream this, like do a career review, I can show you just like this. I can just show you, who we fought. Like, there you go, Nigel Benn, Steve Collins. I can just show you their things here, and I wouldn't have to do any editing or anything like that. The only thing is, I'd have a live chat going, which can be somewhat distracting. As you can see there. You're clicking on and off it. But I don't know if this would nearly be better. Do it like this. So if I'm doing a career review for, say, Mike Tyson or Andre Ward, I can just talk kind of here. Don't have to do any editing, and I could just be like, yeah, he fought Steve Collins. That was in Cork, I think. Yeah, it was in Cork, and that was a good fight. Those who haven't seen the first Steve, the second fight was a stinker. Well, it wasn't a stinker, but the second fight wasn't as good as the first. The first Steve Collins fight was so good. That was in Cork, in Mill Street. Atmosphere in that fight looked amazing. Back when boxing in Ireland, actually, you could do something. Because I will show you here. I would love showing this. So, Ireland 2019. How many fight shows did we have in 2019 that weren't amateur shows? We had that. I was at that show, so that was a pro show. And we two. Ignore all these. These are all amateur shows. See? Amateur. So they're all amateur. So we had 2 shows all last year. Because I remember that I was at that show. That was a shit show. That was a real shit show. No, that was another amateur show in Cork. Where was the one I was at? Oh, that was it there. Yeah, that was a real shit show. And Noni Murphy, Eddie Tracy, Craig O'Brien. That was a shit show. So yeah, we didn't get much fighting over there. We didn't get much over there. That's a comment. Let's get Addy and G-Man join streams for content. I'd like that. I would seriously like that. I would love that. I don't know. I have to ask him. I definitely have to ask him about joining a live stream sometime. I'd love it if he did. No, I really love it. He told me he wants to do something where people can see him. But I wouldn't mind it. I'd love to get Addy in a live stream. I'd love to. Be good fun. Be some good fun. People, I am going to end this right here. Got to be worth a try. I can definitely ask him. Maybe next time. I'm talking to him during the week on WhatsApp. I'll ask him. We'll see. We did do an Instagram call together there a little while ago, but it was only brief, very brief. That's before we done it with Boxing Social. But people, Del, I'm going to go on your channel and let you know next time that I'm live streaming so you can join early, because I'm going to end this live stream here and I'm going to call it quits. I am going to go and watch a movie. I'm already starting on the original, and yeah, this is going to sound geeky, but I'm starting on the Spider-Man trilogy. I haven't watched it in years, and I watched The Dark Knight Rises the other night, and I thought, right, you've done Batman. Now, I've seen the Dark Knight trilogy before, but I thought, you've done Batman, so let's do Spider-Man. I'd be really good with that. So, yeah, I'm going to watch the Spider-Man trilogy. I'm not going to watch the whole trilogy. I'm going to watch the first and second one probably tonight. And maybe do another stream tomorrow. Just depends. Doesn't depend on how busy I am, because I'm not busy, but it just depends on, when I get around to it or when I'll be free. If I do a live stream tomorrow, probably going to do it in the afternoon or late evening. So kind of 4 to 5, in around then. So if I do a live stream tomorrow, it'll be in around that time. So 4 to 5, give or take, in around tomorrow. So hope you enjoyed it. Shout out to Toby for liking the videos. Thank you very much. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Seriously enjoyed it. Had a great time. Definitely killed 40 minutes. Hopefully our next live stream we can go a bit longer, and I'll do some more screen shares, show you a few other bits and pieces. Hope y'all enjoy it, people. Enjoy your Saturday, whatever you're doing. I'm sure it's probably not much, but enjoy your Saturday nonetheless, and I'll talk to you.